Hi, welcome back to TwoCrazyShuckers. I tried to do a video earlier today of a pair of earrings. This is the second pair of said earrings. But tonight I want to try making one of these night lights. And I'm trying to figure out what is the best way to go about doing this. I can tell you that we are going to end up using probably the Resin portable light. And I just need to figure out a way to make sure that this is staying level, which that's level. My handy dandy block that I use for about everything. And these are the UV DTF that I have purchased from Amazon. As you can see right there, there's a code from Amazon. And we're gonna put them on here. I'm really loving this one. The boat, oh, I love them all. And I think I'm gonna use this chunky glitter on there. So let me kind of try and see what we're gonna use here today. Set this to the side for a moment. That styrofoam has gotten everywhere. Sky blue opal. Oh. Okay, so I know which one I'm going to use. And I am going to use the Let's Resin Sky Blue Opal as my first attempt here. Now, let me see how I get these open. You can hear my printer going in the background. We are still getting ready for our last event of the spring season. See if that fits okay. I think that's a very good fit. I do need to cut a little bit extra off the bottom. Set that to the side. Ooh, that stuff made a yucky mess. And there's still paint residue from what I was doing earlier. So let me get this off. So you can hear the printer going with some new wind spinner designs. That I got a sea turtle design that I'm working on. Got that going tonight. All right. I think I'm gonna have to put another piece of tape. I attempted to make a pair of earrings today. The earrings came out cute, but the video, not so much. I think that looks pretty good. I am going to take an alcohol swab. Oh. I just want to make sure that it's staying kind of level. There, that looks better. So it doesn't all run to one side or the other. Okay. And I forgot my microphone again. I guess I've got this handy dandy little microphone that I'm going to try to use. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I thought you might be able to hear me breathing less. I won't know. So my goal with the UV DTF is to make sure that possibly I don't have to top coat over it, but if I do, it's not a big deal. I would like to add shells to these eventually. I'm going to start with Resin, as you all know, it's my favorite. UV hard type. And I don't know how much glitter to put in. We're just gonna put that much, a couple of shakes. Oh, that color looks pretty once it gets inside the resin. Now, let me check for level again. That's pretty good. And I'm gonna close the glitter because I do not want to upset that. I was gonna try adding some of the eye candy macaw blue, but I'm afraid it will be too opaque and not translucent enough for a nightlight. So I abandoned the idea. Now all I'm going to do is bring it as much to the edge as possible without going over the edge. And I am going to wipe right there where I just went over. And I'm going to wipe it off my hand, don't worry. I am not allergic to the UV resin in any way, shape, or form. Well, that's got like hints of purple in it. I went with the Resin glitter tonight because I thought the opaques would look really pretty lit up after it was done. So I'm just going to use this to push it to the edge. I want a good amount. I think I'll clean it off afterwards to make sure, because there's like some bigger pieces like mylar in there. I have big ideas for these if they work out. These are just the simple, excuse me, night lights that you pick up at Dollar Tree. They're like $1.25. Let me see if I have a packaging. LED night light. I thought these might be maybe something to have for craft fairs. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. People might not like them at all. But of course, my first thought went to beach. If I was gonna make them, I was gonna make something that I wanted to have. Which means I want something beachy. This glitter is actually, I see why they call it opal. What's it called? Sky blue opal. Now I get that. It definitely has a holographic kind of do is just clean up this edge with any glitter pieces that might be over the edge. Try to get it the best of I can to my ability. Getting it to the edge without going over the edge. Well, I think that would make beautiful earrings too. That color is stunning. Make sure I'm still kind of level here. It's not all falling to one side. That is super pretty. That's gonna look so good. It's even more awkward sitting here talking to myself with my husband in the other room. The other part of the shuckers. Okay, so we basically used every bit that I had poured in there. I'm just gonna try and get everything I can out of the cup and move it to the edge without now. I'm not going to try to put a whole bunch of lighter to that. I think I am going to have to hold it while it cures. I'm going to stick that up in the lamp. And then I am going to dig out my handy dandy, while I hold this there, I'm going to unfold my light. And I'm just going to hold it for just a moment this way, as much as I could unfold with one hand. For 2 minutes. I love the UV DTF decals. They are amazing. I was so disappointed when I went to splice my video together and I realized that a part that I thought that I was recording in, time lapse, so that it was sped up, I did not. So one video I said, well, as you can see in the time lapse we did this, this, and this. Well, that's not true because there was no time lapse. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that video. I don't know. Should I upload it? The earrings are cute. They're a little chicken wearing deck boots. And I also worked on, this was an overpour, so I've been sending these as free gifts with orders. Super cute. As soon as this runs 2 minutes, then I will be definitely holding it. But I want it to cure for a full 5 minutes, I believe, before I put the UV DTF. But I want to feel these edges to make sure I didn't go over. Wouldn't it be great with to put some shells on these? I think it would. Oh, that is really pretty. The way that looks underneath the light. Ooh. Okay, I am going to look and see what I have for shells over here. I don't know if I could really put shells on with that lighthouse though. But I'm trying to think if I chose something else, if I put maybe a piece of sea glass with this on that rocky shore. What am I going to do? Ooh, I have a good idea. I have some little starfish, some really tiny shells, but also my friend and artist, Shanine from Sea Cycle Studio in the UK, sends me, she makes artwork out of her beachcombing finds, and she sent me a shipment of glass, sea glass that she had found on the beach there in the Isle of Wight. And so I have to say, I think I need to put the decal on first and go from there. So that will help me decide what I'm going to add. So with UV DTF, there is a back that needs to be taken off, but also the front after you get the sticker applied. So I'm going to need to stand up to see this. I'm hoping that's right. Oh, that looks good. I like it. I am going to take just to make sure that that's stuck down pretty good. And now I should have maybe cut around the lighthouse a little bit more. I'm not sure. It doesn't seem to be anything there. Now, UV DTF is pretty forgiving, and you don't have to put anything on top of it. It's already taken care of. But I think along this bottom edge, I think I am going to add some sea glass into the top coat. And I wanted to use these colors. Now I did not wipe these off, so I'm going to do it. If I'm going to make many of these, I need to figure out a better way of doing it. I think that takes away from it, to be honest. If I'm being quite honest, I don't think I'm going to add any of that to this. What I am going to do, though, is lightly wipe the entire surface before I add on. And I'm going to use high viscosity to dome this because I'm afraid it'll go too close to the edges too quickly for my liking. And it's going to flop down. You see it just come untaped. Now what I'm going to do is use kind of the silicone end of this, and with the high viscosity I won't have, you know, it doesn't run quite as quickly as the regular resin does. Oh, I should have gotten the light ready, but I didn't. Now, I have seen people using UV resin to make these night lights, so I know that they are okay and they're not a fire hazard of any kind. And of course, UV resin, once it's hardened, it's hardened. So you don't have to worry about that. I have more faith in UV than I do in two-part because I'm just not good with two-part epoxy like some people are. I watch so many people on YouTube and they're so good with two-part epoxy. They make me want to dig out my molds and give it a go, but I just feel like I have a lot to learn, and I have a lot more to learn before I need to try it and waste the product. I do like making our two-part epoxy snowflake ornaments and star ornaments at Christmas, and they are really good sellers for us. I just am not sure how good I would be at anything else. And I did get a degassing, a debubbler from Resiners, I think is the name brand of mine. Oh, there's my printer acting funny, scaring me. I just haven't even got it out of the box. I also got the hands-free mixing from Resiners as well. And I also have not unboxed that. That's how frightfully uncomfortable I am working with UV resin. I mean, two-part resin, epoxy, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now I'm feeling that that's pretty level. Oof. I'm gonna add a little bit more. That would have been a good time to get my light going here. Get all the sea gloss out of the way. There. Well, I'm excited to see what this looks like with the light going through it. I think it's going to be quite beautiful. I do have some bubbles, and I would say those bubbles are coming up off of that decal slightly. Need a little more heat. Still degassing quite a bit right above that. But I am going to run the lamp. I'm gonna make sure I haven't come over the edge at all, because I do want it to look nice and tidy on the edges. I don't feel any resin over there, and there's none over there. Let me see what this looks like up here. Oh, I'm almost out of frame. I have a very bad habit of doing that. That doesn't look bad. See a little, it's so hard with all of these lights at night. Wowzers. That is a challenge. But I think that looks pretty darn good. Spiffy. And it looks so different in person than it looks like on the camera. Okay. I'm gonna let that level out for just a moment. I can see it filling in. I don't know. That might be just the ring light, but I am gonna hold it and run the light at the same time. I'm just gonna run it raised up a little bit. Sorry, I know that's not a great view. But I think for my night light to come out right, I gotta work my way down with the light so that it looks smoother, not rippled. Oh, I was hoping to add some beachy items to my designs, and I may do that on some, but for these ones with the you know, with these adorable UV DTF, I'm just gonna leave it. I can tell you that high viscosity, it's a thicker resin and it has more fumes, more of a smell to it than regular UV. I'm gonna let this run for 2 minutes. See how it does. Ooh. I think this is gonna look really pretty. I'm not mad about it. Being that this is a very translucent item, I would say we're okay with the light, but I am I literally just stuck it down in there. That's what the back side looks like. Oh, the edges came out great. I do see, nope, I can't tell what that is. There is a little bit of a fisheye right there. So I think I really need to work on my doming skills at night, especially if I'm going to be making these videos at night. I definitely need to work it out. I think I'm going to go with my handy dandy regular hard type, and I'm going to put a layer of that on just because it's what I know. I didn't really want this many coats on the night light, but I would rather it be not have the fisheyes and stuff on the front. So that means being able to see properly and cure it properly. That's a bummer. It's my first one. Bear with me. They'll get better. Oh yeah, there's a big old area right here that didn't get filled in. I'm not a big high viscosity person, just because it is much harder to tame, I feel like. And once you get used to using regular viscosity resin, you will find you can work with it just as easy as you can that thicker formula. You'll get used to the limits that you can push. And I've domed a lot of earrings since 2018. Not that I mind. But I do feel like I am able to better control this one. Hopefully that fills in the areas. If not, we'll make this a free gift with purchase. I would like to be able to sell these, but until I get it perfect, I don't want to and that's got quite a good dome coat on there. It has come out beautifully, I think. Oh, I hope that I'm talking loud enough, because I find it very odd to talk to myself in here. Usually when I am recording videos up to this point, it's during the day and I'm the only one home. So I don't have anybody thinking, what is she doing? You know, it's rather strange sitting in a room talking to yourself while you're trying to get your point across to the world. See, now I did get that onto that area, and I don't know if that's going to come through. I guess there's only one way of knowing, and that is by making your first one. Trying. Okay. And that, of course, is making it thinner as well. So what I'm going to do is hold that down. Again, one-handed. Get the light out. Set it on 2 minutes and go. And hope that, ooh. I think I might have some low spots, but I cannot be sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit more resin right in there and hope that it fills them in. That's the great thing about Let's Resins UV hard type, is it is self-leveling. I don't normally get a lot of fish eyes, but this is a big area to cover. I can honestly tell you, I'm not used to doming quite this large of an area. Okay, we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go up high and hope that it's okay. All I can see is the reflection of ring lights in there. So I guess we shall see. But we'll be seeing together. It will also tell me what I'm doing down in the area by the base, if I'm getting too much resin in there. I cannot be sure. All I can do is hope. Hope that I have it tilted down far enough. Now I am going to move it in closer. Uh-oh. We've already done 2 minutes. Well, I was still working out those bits. Once I get it to where I feel like it's quite hard, I'm going to put it up in the lamp and I'm going to let it go 5 minutes. So I will come back for that. How bad am I out of frame? Not bad. Okay. I'm going to shut that off. I'm going to take a look at this, see what it looks like. First of all, I'm going to just see. It's quite hard, actually. Now, I am going to put you on a pause while I put this in the lamp. I'm just trying to see. No, I had nothing run over the edge. No, it's pretty good. You can tell I got some little spots in there. There's a bubble. It's okay, I'll keep this one for myself. I will be back at the end of this 5 minutes and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so we have ran this. I do see where I could possibly put another resin coat. Now I will say the good thing about this is that the resin is blocked, right here from running. So I'm thinking what I'm probably going to do is, I'm not good at this with it so dark outside and so much light in my room from all the lights that I have going for lighting. So I am probably going to save this till tomorrow morning, and then I'm going to work on these areas where I left, that, and I am going to get I'll get pictures and everything once that's finished. But tonight I'm going to see about sanding this. I mean, these sides aren't really bad. They're nothing that I am offended by, or I feel like any reason why I couldn't sell this, but I do feel like I might be able to make that cleaner. Now the back looks great. I do wish there was a way to pull this out of here to possibly, nope, to possibly get it to lie down flat. That's your challenge, finding something. I guess, let me see. Finding something that makes this sit up. Now that might work. To lie it flat, then you can resin dome, and that stays down on the edge, and you can almost adhere it. Yep, perfect. Okay, I might have solved that problem all at once. And I'm going to make it so that it's off to one side. And I'm going to try and fill in with a very, very thin coat. I know, I said I was going to wait till tomorrow. But I'm going to kind of let it do its own thing, leveling. And I'm going to get kind of one with more of a spatula on it. And I'm going to get it moved around so that the low spots are being filled in while I'm just putting a skim coat on the high spots. I could never sell this one now. I'd have to charge God knows how much money. How much do those cost? Oh, there's 4,000 coats of resin on there. That'll be $50. Priceless. I think that I would like to keep these around like the $12 mark. I think that that's fair, depending on what I put on them. I have to think about the UTV DTF and that cost, as well as, you know, glitter. How many coats of resin is it going to take me to get it to where it is a sellable product? Do we ever really recoup our money? I guess there are some things you just have to figure, is it worth selling if it takes me this long? I always am challenged with the first one, I'm not gonna lie. The first one is always a bit of work because you have to work out things like, you know, how to prop it up, how much resin to put on a coat. Maybe I had that last coat of resin way too thick. If you take the silicone end of these little dotting tools, it works so wonderful to get you onto that edge without going over. You don't get too much resin out there, so it domes quite nicely. I know everybody's probably making these. I don't know. What do you like to see people make? I want to do more than just earrings, but earrings is the name of the game at TwoCrazyShuckers. I love the earrings. They are my solace. They make me feel calm when I make them. Oh, when they sell, it gives me such happiness. We had an event a couple weeks ago, and people really loved our studs and the designs that we had, the fun and quirky style that we have. People appreciated that, which I appreciate. So I am gonna put more in here to level this out. Like I said, this one I'm gonna have to keep for myself because I just could never sell it with this many coats of resin. I don't know, maybe you can. Maybe this is how many coats people put on. For me, I thought I had an air bubble, but it was just, it was the light showing. I mean, these lights, you have no idea how many lights it takes in a room to have it all set up for YouTube. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I am gonna try and run the lighter over this just really quick. I don't want to hurt the light itself. And then I can see spots that are low and kind of work around them. Okay, that's looking much, much better this time. I am very pleased with that. Now I have to decide how I want to resolve the sides. I think I'm going to take this and run it over that edge. ever so gently, just to make sure it's nice and smooth. Oops, I was a little further down than I wanted to go. I think it's okay though. Okay, that front is now perfection. I am just going to take it and ever so gently go along these edges like I dome any kind of earrings. Ooh, on that edge, making sure that it doesn't go over. And I think I'll do the first curing cycle with my portable UV lamp. And then I will put it into the lamp to do a full 5 minutes. I think it might be that opal glitter too. That stuff is sparkly. Okay. I'm going to try to just run along this edge a little bit. I'm going to dig out the lamp. I'm going to do a quick 2-minute cure, but I'm going to hold it up for the first part of the cure, you know, so that we don't get a bunch of rippling on the surface. Then, about halfway through, I'm going to start lowering it. I don't know how long a minute is. I honestly feel like my life is like the sands through the hourglass. So are the days of our lives. Literally how I feel every day. Now I am going to slide this out and I'm going to move my lamp down in pretty close. That is the beauty of this lamp. I haven't had to charge it once yet either. It's been amazing. So, maybe I'll try to do like a wave effect and all kinds of fancy things, but the first one I had to get under my belt. And these are adorable. I love the one with the stork. I love the color. I would put one of all of them in our house. Now I'm just gonna it is hard. Well, I kind of worked out my situation with how to cure it, which I can just stick it to one of the backs of those old molds that I use. Here, let me get this moved out of the way first. Before I put it in the lamp, I will show it to you. So much better now. So much smoother. What you're seeing down here is not, it's, I don't know, that could be a problem right there. But overall, it's pretty good. I think that makes a beautiful night light. I will come back with some pictures after I get it cured. Please be sure to like, subscribe, follow our page, comment with something you'd like to see us make. Besides earrings, there's always going to be earrings. I wish this glitter showed me to you on camera how it looks to me. It's very holographic-y, rainbowy colors. Super pretty. Anyway, enough about that. I will come back with pictures of it completed, and I will actually show a picture of it lit up in my bathroom with the dark. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.